Okay, shalom, shalom, kwam yasha'Allah, koholoim la Yahweh, bahashim Yahushai, bahashim Hakodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes and commandments of Yahweh, bahashim Yahushai, to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawaf just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. Quick little lesson on this Pride Month with Dez Bryant, former NFL star. It says, forcing it in people's faces. Dez Bryant goes off on the NFL over their controversial promo for Pride Month. And see, when I went into this, let me just jump down to what he said. I guess this was a campaign they had going in 2021. So this is resurfacing. So it's something old, but of course it's done gone viral again. You know how people, they go back and pull shit up. But it says, Dez Bryant didn't share his thoughts on the Pride Month campaign until an old video resurfaced and began going viral. The video was first shared by the NFL in 2021. Football is gay, football is queer, football is transgender. These are wild statements to make, Bryant wrote on X. Right? It says, excuse my silliness. I'm going to proudly tell my boys football is none of these things. I have nothing against gays, but this is far from right. So if you have nothing against it, then you're actually with it. You know, you're going with the flow of it. See, we have to come out and directly say, no, that'll get you destroyed. The Lord is not dealing with that lifestyle. That's going to get you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans destroyed. You are Israelites. The Lord gave us law, statutes, and commandments on those particular types of things. And we're not to live like that. You know, now these heathen, they can do what they want to do. But the Lord gave us law, statutes, and commandments to follow and to go by. And one of the main reasons we're in captivity right now under these people with these stupid ass laws and rules they have is because we didn't keep what the Lord gave us. He told us to not be like these other nations. Don't the customs of the people are vain. You know, here our people are in most of these countries, especially America, Babylon the Great. You're serving an idol, white Jesus, which the Lord is not some blonde hair, blue-eyed white guy. Because even that image of, when you look at that image that they show you generally of the of so-called white Jesus, it looks like a transgender person. You know, but we know the Lord was a dark melanated man. You know what I'm saying? And his name is not Jesus. His name is Yahushai, which means that he's the savior or deliverer in the Paleo Hebrew. And the true name of the Father, also woolly hair, dark colored. You know what I'm saying? The Israelites, these were people of color. But our Father, his name is Yahweh, which means he exists with the existing one. And once we started to live after the customs of these nations, see, when you look at the law, statutes, and commandments, everything that the Lord was telling us don't do, those other nations was doing. And a part of that is this particular lifestyle. Matter of fact, let me grab one real quick. Man land with mankind. And matter of fact, let me get this one. Proverbs 17 and 15. He that justifieth the wicked and he that condemneth the just, even they both are abomination to Yahweh. So he's justifying it. He's well, I don't have nothing against them, but no, you got to straight flat out say, no, I'm not with that at all. You got to be strong on that, man. But when it comes down to, let me get this other one, where it talks about you can't serve Yahweh and Mammon. Put it back in here. No, it's Matthew 6 and 24. No man can serve two masters. For either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve Yahweh and Mammon. See? And Dez Bryant, you know, he's sitting on some change. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of our people, once they hit that millionaire status, man, you know, they fall for the bullshit, you know, because they want to keep those funds. They understand that in this day and time, you can be canceled, you know. But anyway, let's get that one. And again, hey, I find it, you know, it's ironic that Trump He was all on, Colin Kaepernick's head back in the days, when they was taking the knee. They wasn't, singing the damn Star Spangled Banner. And he was calling them son of a bitches and all kinds of stuff like that. He was pissed back then, And now all of a sudden, he's signing all these executive orders. He's getting rid of DEI this, getting rid of that, getting rid of this. But he's not going to get rid of that Pride Month. And I put in Chat GPT as well, the association that the NFL actually has with the American government. So you think Trump would be on top of that? Like, you know what? Nah, we're not doing that no more. But nope. He gave you, what did he say? He was talking about bringing male gender back, male and female genders. That's it, 2 genders. But that's as far as he went with it. He didn't stop anything else. He didn't, that's as far as he went with it. This is Leviticus 18:22. It says, "Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination." And then in chapter 20, verse 13, Leviticus 20:13, it goes a little further. "If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with the woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them." So the Lord, he can get at you any kind of way he wants to. Matter of fact, this guy, if you've been hearing about the actor that done the voice of the Indian on King of the Hill, he just got gunned down. You know what I'm saying? And with his husband, I'm like, he had a husband. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but that's judgment, man, from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. Now let's go into this. Let's go into. Matter of fact, let me go back. Because again, Trump, let me go back to this other story. Where is it at? Right here. Trump promises large-scale fines after California trans athlete wins 2 state titles. Okay, so you going all hard about that. He's really ready to just, whatever funding he can cut for the state of California, he's about to cut. Because he's mad about this particular situation. Matter of fact, he called this guy New Scum. What's the governor name out there? Let me see. I'm just going to jump straight to the point. Biological male competed in California's girls' state finals, winning big, despite the fact that they were warned by me not to do so. Okay, well, you done all that. Why aren't you against this month? It says, Trump wrote in a 12:56 a.m. He wrote, as Governor Gavin Newsom, he don't call him Newsom, he called him Scum, fully understands large-scale fines will be imposed, he added, referring to California's Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom. Trump did not quantify the amount he will seek to fine California or specifically which federal funding stream he might target. A spokesperson from Newsom's office did not immediately respond to a request for comment. But the thing of it is why didn't you go all hardcore about you getting rid of, you're doing your Project 2025 bullshit. You're doing all these different things. You're cutting food stamps. You're cutting Medicaid. You're cutting, or you cutting all these agencies. In the meanwhile, you still giving all you've supposedly found all these Doge cuts, all this waste in the government and all this other shit. And your citizens are not seeing any of this money that you're supposedly been finding and saving. But you still funding Israel. So he's doing a lot of shit that's just, I guess people are really starting to see like, I voted for the wrong person, basically. But, I mean, it's all good. We love it, man. But I just found this to just be hypocritical and ironic that, he was going all hardcore in the NFL when, again, Colin Kaepernick was taking the knee and all that. Because when you go into Chat GPT, this is what I pulled up. I just typed in, does the NFL have ties with the government? And it says, yes, the NFL National Football League has various types of ties with the U.S. government, though it is a private organization. These connections are not always direct partnerships, but they exist through different forms. Number one, military and Department of Defense. because, they of course, they use the NFL. That's where you see a lot of the Army commercials, join the Air Force, join the Marines, and, these different branches of military, you know what I'm saying? So they use, and mainly the reason why they use the NFL like that is because it's a man watch. Women are all into it now, you know what I'm saying? Because, of course, these NFL teams, they make a lot of money on merchandise, and they've geared their merchandise mainly towards women when you really look at it, because women buy a lot of that pink shit, you know what I'm saying? They got dresses, or anything that you can get of any kind of wear you can get at an NFL store, whatever your favorite team is. And generally, nowadays they market it to the point where it's a woman's type of thing when it comes to the shopping. But back in the days, it was a manly thing. That's how they ran those commercials to try and get young men, to join the military. Anyway, but it says the NFL has worked with the Department of Defense and U.S. military branches, especially for patriotic displays at games, flyovers, salute to service campaigns. Some of these were paid promotions. In the mid-2000s, 2010s, reports showed that the DoD paid the NFL millions for patriotic ceremonies. Not all were unpaid tributes as people thought. Number 2 on the list is tax and legal status. Until 2015, the NFL league office was tax exempt under IRS code 501c6, which led to some scrutiny. The league voluntarily gave up this status after public criticism. And because they was keeping all that damn money, man. And that's what a lot of these Christian churches do too. Individual teams have always been taxed normally. Stadium funding and local and federal NFL stadiums often receive public funding, including local, state, and sometimes federal tax dollars or subsidies. See that? Governments may fund infrastructure around stadiums too, roads, transit, etc. And then it goes on, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, he has the power to defund their asses, I guess, to a certain extent. Something he can do. He been figuring out how to defund everybody else shit, anybody that he don't like. But, I just found it interesting, you know what I'm saying, that, okay, why aren't you was out here fronting with the Make America Great Again Bibles, he was out here really fronting with the Bible like he's about the Bible. So why aren't you going full-fledged and being about the scriptures for real? And that's why that Psalms 50 and 16 talks about what is thou to do to declare my statutes. Matter of fact, let me just grab it. These people are hypocrites, bro. And it shows. Psalms 50 and 16, but unto the wicked Yahweh saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes? Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction and casting my words behind thee. They hate these words, man. But they front with the Bible and act and see. That's how he won, a lot of Republicans over too. They was buying those Bibles. He was autographing them bitches. I don't know how. He was making all kinds of money off the Bibles, man, with the Constitution and all that bullshit in them, man. But let me go to Romans, because they be talking, oh, well, that was Old Testament and things have changed. Yeah, I guess we gonna see soon. Let me start at verse 22. Romans chapter 1, verse 22. I'll just start there. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, and changed the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man, and to birds and four-footed beasts and creeping things. A lot of these idols and shit, especially that white Jesus, man. It says, wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves. See, who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie, and worship and serve the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause Yahweh gave them up unto vile affections, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature, women on women. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burn in their lust one towards another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat. And there you have it, man. And even as they did not like to retain Yahweh and their knowledge, Yahweh gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of Yahweh, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. So, hey, it is what it is, man. But this guy, he said he was not going to tell, he's not going to tell his sons that. But though he's still like, well, I don't have nothing against, No, you can't be that way, bro. You got to, let your yay be yay or nay be your nay, man. Your yes is yes or no, your no or no. I guess I could have played the little video, but anyway. But he says, excuse my silliness. I'm going to probably tell my boys football is none of these things. I have nothing against gays, but this is far from right. So he goes on to say in the X, I guess this is the response, like the newer response. It's gay players in the NFL, but forcing it in people's faces, especially children, can send the wrong message. Well, that's the idea. That's what Esau wants to do. Scripture says to, train up a child on the way they should go. And when they're older, they won't forget it, roughly paraphrasing. And Esau, he understands that. Says what, because when you look at these schools, they've been going real hard with the little babies, man. Preschool, first graders, second, they going hard about teaching our kids that bullshit, man. It says, football is a real community like the gay community. Imagine telling guys that have to advocate for straight people. Oh, Salaki, it says, imagine telling gays they have to advocate for straight people. They probably would have a problem. Yeah, they would. So in there you have it. Let me see what else. He says, I hate social media at times because people post fake positive things all the time and get bothered whenever folks have a real conversation. It should be written rules saying you can't have an opinion because people are sensitive, and all social platforms should be used for. Yeah, but okay. Yeah, no, you living in America, man. You know what I'm saying? And let's see some of these comments. And I'll end out. Somebody says, way to go, Dez. We're tired of being force-fed DEI. Okay, well, but Trump is not getting rid of that month. He's not getting rid of that month. He's telling you, the genders are male and female. Okay, well, why aren't you going hardcore about, the Bible, since you selling the Bible, man? You got these beautiful, great, Make America Great Again Bibles, man, and you autographing them and shit, but you're not keeping the scriptures. So you got a majority of the people are so not with it. But that small percentage of people are winning. They winning when it comes to it, man. Yeah, people not with this shit, man, in these comment boards. People like they agreeing with Dez. Somebody says he who controls the media controls the mind, and we know who that is. Somebody got it in there. I ain't gonna say that word. We know who running that shit. We know who pushing all that bullshit throughout the earth, man. And all these countries are falling for it. You know what I'm saying? These Edomite countries, if anything, and it kind of started with them damn Hamites, in a sense, but even those Hamites in those African countries, they're like, nah, man, we not with that shit here. And they have some strenuous laws, man. Remember, Kamala, she went over there, trying to advocate for them and shit like that. And they told her to get the fuck from over here. Because hey, her whole cabinet, Joe Biden whole cabinet, hey, that cabinet that Joe Biden had, man, was a damn circus, boy. But anyway, though, we'll keep it classy. I just wanted to touch on this for a hot sec. Somebody says a real American man. Yeah, he's right. But yeah, when you look at the comments, you can clearly see that the majority of the public is not with this shit. They're tired of it. Yep. So but again, he should just be straightforward. Like, nah, I'm not with that shit at all. Not at all. But you have to choose those words wisely. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I'm gonna end out there. Pray that the lesson was edifying with that. Kwame Yasha Allah and a Baba Ball.